The Phenomenon of Levitation and St. Teresa of Avila by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. The levitation of St. Teresa of Avila is a captivating phenomenon that has fascinated scholars, theologians and historians for centuries. It is an extraordinary matter that carries profound religious implications and has sparked various interpretations and debates. To understand the significance of St. Teresa's levitation experiences, it is crucial to examine the historical milieu in which she lived. St. Teresa of Avila, 1515 to 1582, was a Spanish mystic and Carmelite nun who was deeply dedicated to her faith. She played a vital role in the Counter-Reformation, a period of religious reform initiated by the Catholic Church. During this time, the Church sought to counter Protestantism's growing influence and reaffirm traditional Catholic doctrines. Numerous first-hand accounts by St. Teresa's contemporaries document her levitations. Witnesses describe how she would often enter ecstatic states during prayer, characterized by a transcendent union with God. These episodes were often accompanied by remarkable physical manifestations, including levitation. Witnesses attested that St. Teresa would become weightless and be suspended in mid-air for extended periods, seemingly defying the laws of gravity. Scholars have proposed diverse explanations to comprehend the phenomenon of St. Teresa's levitation. Some attribute the experiences to psychological and physiological factors, suggesting that her extreme religious devotion may have induced altered states of consciousness. Others posit that she possessed extraordinary spiritual powers, potentially bestowed upon her by divine intervention. It is important to note that while empirical evidence may be lacking, these explanations offer valuable insights into the complexity of the phenomenon. It has also been suggested by some theosophists that an illusion of levitation may appear to witnesses who, in exceptional circumstances, see the astral body dislocate from and rise out of the physical body of someone engaged in prayer or meditation. There are examples of levitation in Eastern religious traditions. The Buddhist practice of Tummo, also known as inner fire meditation, offers an intriguing parallel to the levitation of St. Teresa of Avila. Tummo is a form of advanced meditation that involves generating intense internal heat through specific breathing techniques and visualization. Practitioners believe that by harnessing this inner fire, they can purify their bodies and minds, ultimately reaching a state of enlightenment accompanied by levitation. The levitation experienced by St. Teresa and the practice of Tummo share a common thread of transcending the limitations of the physical body. In her work Isis Unveiled, H.P. Blavatsky offers an explanation for levitation. She says, "The Earth is a magnetic body. In fact, as some scientists have found, it is one vast magnet. As Paracelsus affirmed some 300 years ago, it is charged with one form of electricity, let us call it positive, which it evolves continuously by spontaneous action in its interior or centre of motion." Human bodies, in common with all other forms of matter, are charged with the opposite form of electricity, negative. That is to say, organic or inorganic bodies, if left to themselves, will constantly and involuntarily charge themselves with and evolve the form of electricity opposed to that of the Earth itself. Now, what is weight? Simply attraction of the Earth. Without the attraction of the Earth, you would have no weight, says Professor Stewart, and if you had an Earth twice as heavy as this, you would have double the attraction. How then can we get rid of this attraction? According to the electrical law above stated, there is an attraction between our planet and the organisms upon it, which holds them upon the surface of the ground. But the law of gravitation has been counteracted in many instances by levitations of persons and inanimate objects. How do we account for this? The condition of our physical systems, say theurgic philosophers, is largely dependent upon the action of our will, If well regulated, it can produce miracles. Among others, a change of this electrical polarity from negative to positive. The man's relations with the earth magnet would then become repellent, and gravity for him would have ceased to exist. It would then be as natural for him to rush into the air until the repellent force had exhausted itself as before it had been for him to remain upon the ground. The altitude of his levitation would be measured by his ability, greater or less, to charge his body with positive electricity. This control over the physical forces, once obtained, alteration of his levity or gravity would be as easy as breathing. End of Isis Unveiled quotation. The Levitations of St. Teresa of Avila hold multifaceted interpretations that go beyond mere physical manifestations. From a theological perspective, they are seen as signs of divine grace and favour. The suspension in mid-air is seen as a symbolic representation of the soul's ascent towards God, reflecting her profound spiritual union. Additionally, some scholars view St. Teresa's levitations as a manifestation of her resistance against the patriarchal limitations imposed on women during her time. By defying the physical constraints of the earthly realm, she challenged societal norms and asserted her spiritual authority. The Levitations of St. Teresa of Avila continue to intrigue and elicit wonder among scholars and spiritual seekers alike. The phenomenon, firmly rooted in historical accounts, transcends the boundaries of our rational understanding, inviting us to think deeply about the complexities of faith, the power of devotion, and altered states of consciousness. While explanations vary, it is undeniable that St. Teresa's levitations serve as a powerful testament to her unwavering commitment to her faith and her unique spiritual journey.